The following video will provide an overview of how to download both free and paid apps from the App Store. By the end of this video, you should be able to search, log in, and purchase from the App Store. It is suggested that you have your iPad with you while watching the video on a computer screen. This will allow you to use your iPad and follow along with the video. Alright, this video is going to serve as a brief walkthrough of how to actually download a free app or even purchase an app from within the App Store. Now on your iPad, any app that the district has purchased will be pushed out to you. If it's something that all teachers are getting, or that we feel is useful for all teachers, and the school district purchases it, then you won't have to worry about downloading that through some of the management software we have. We'll get that app to you. This is more for apps that you want to use in your particular classroom, or that you think are useful just for you. You are allowed to go into the App Store and download these apps. For those of you that have used an iPhone or an iPad before, feel free to skip over this video if you know how to do that. The only thing I would encourage you to do, as I tell you up front, is to search for an app called TechChef for You. If you're going to skip through the video because you already know how to download an app, then please go download the app TechChef for You. I'll kind of mention more about that throughout this video, but it's actually just an app that helps you locate good educational apps. Okay, so let's get started. Now, this video does assume that you already have an Apple ID created. You are allowed to use your personal Apple ID, and if you did not have one when you first received your iPad, then we would have helped you get set up with one of those. You will need that to go into the App Store. And I'll go ahead and address security issues. When you purchase an app, Apple will store your credit card information. Okay, now, I've used iTunes for several years now, and I've never had an issue with security. I've never had an issue with any credit card information being compromised. However, if that does bother you and you do not want to enter a credit card in, you can use EEF money. As long as you're purchasing educational apps, you can use your money, and you could go to Walmart, Best Buy, and probably even a store like Dollar General and purchase an iTunes card. Okay, they're available individually for like $10–15, or you can get 3-packs. I mean, you can get them in several different denominations, and that will keep you from having to enter in your credit card information. Okay, and I'll show you, if that's the route you want to take, I will show you the tab where you would hit to do that as well. Alright, so don't worry about that. If you don't mind putting your credit card in, you're good to go. But if you want to stop by and purchase iTunes cards to keep from having to do that, then that will work wonderfully as well. So the first thing you're going to want to do is locate the App Store icon. Okay, now you will see on my icon there on the left the number 15 in a red oval there. That simply tells me that I have 15 apps already installed on my iPad that need an update. Okay, and I'll show you how to do that. It's very easy. Once you download these apps, sometimes developers will do an update to keep them running smoothly or to add new features. Okay, so you will need to, every few days, or if you see that number pop up, go in there and allow it to update so that you'll have the most recent version of the app on your iPad. So we go into the App Store, and when you enter in, don't let it overwhelm you if this is the first time you've used an iPad. Okay, these apps are divided into categories. They're easily searchable, easily accessible, but also part of my job is to shoot out some app ideas to you. Okay, now again, I don't want you to get into the mindset of thinking that just app after app after app after app is going to help you become a better teacher. It is true that some apps are very useful. It's true that they can do wonderful things in your classroom, but the pedagogy behind them is what's most important. How can we find things that will help us to create or collaborate or to interact or to supplement instruction or to help that student that's struggling for remediation or those types of things. So please keep that in mind. Don't be tempted to just get your iPad and start downloading just one app after the other. Okay, so anyway, let's go. And I apologize for the Lady Gaga thing there. That you might want to be careful when you hook this thing to the projector. It's not too bad, but it is something that you may not want showing to small children in your classroom. And that's just them advertising some type of app for her. But it's a good example of showing you that, use caution here, okay? When we go into the education tab, you're going to be pretty safe. But just be aware of when you're going to project or broadcast something onto your projector. All right, so let me walk you through downloading an app. Have your iPad out with you, and you can download this app as we search for it. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to search for an app first. If you know the name of an app, for instance, if it's one that I've suggested to you or through an email or whatever, you can go in the top right corner and you can search. And I want you to search in all lowercase and together, no spaces, Tech Chef, the number 4, and the letter U. You'll see that it pops up there under the results tab before I ever finish. And then you would just select that. It's Tech Chef for you. Okay? A neat situation here. You'll notice under the iPad apps, and if you look at the top of your screen right now, you'll see where it says iPad apps and iPhone apps. There are no results. But I know without a doubt that this app exists because I've seen it. Okay, so I'm going to select the iPhone apps tab up at the top in the center. I'll tap that, and you will see that the app now pops up. Okay, here's the good thing about the iPad. It will download and be able to use any iPhone app. Now, it may be smaller on the screen. There will be an option to zoom that, but a lot of developers make both an iPad and an iPhone version, while some don't. Right now, Tech Chef for You is still listed as just an iPhone app, but we can still download it, okay? That's not an issue, all right? Now, if this is your first time to download the iPad, when we hit this free button, to download it, you just simply hit where it says free, and it will ask you to install app. Once I tap that, if I am not signed in to the App Store, this is where I would do so. If this was my first time and I didn't even have an Apple ID, I could create one here. But at this point, we should all have one, so I just simply hit Use Existing Apple ID. Now again, be aware that if you are hooked to the projector while you're doing this, your students will be able to see your password. I will mask mine out here so that it's not visible. You're going to want to handle this kind of stuff out of the sight of students, though. All right? And once I enter that in, it's going to start installing the app. You can see where it says installing, but we don't have to wait for it to finish. I can hit my home button, and then I go back out to my iPad's main screen, and you can see where in the bottom right corner here, that app has just finished downloading. And you know it's a new one because of the blue flag in the right corner that says new. So let's select this app here. Now here's the issue I was talking about. You can see that it doesn't fill the entire screen. It's made for an iPhone. But in the bottom right corner there, you see a round button, a round circle that has 2X in it, okay? That's not my shirt size. Well, actually it is, but that's not what it's referring to, okay? If you hit the 2X, it blows that app up to twice its size to where it almost fills your screen. And now it's useful on the iPad, all right? And that's really all there is to it, to downloading the app and getting it there. Now, the Tech Chef for You app itself, I'll kind of walk through with you later. It just helps you find good apps that are technology-oriented and useful for teachers, many of them useful for actually within the classroom. Okay, now some of them may be things that are social networking that you can't use within the classroom. They may help you on a personal level, but there are a lot of apps here that can be used in the classroom, and they can help you find it. What you did now was download the app, and I will walk you through later how to use it in a separate video. But guys, that's it. I mean, you go to the App Store, you find the app you would like. You can search for it by hitting the top right corner. Or you can, let's hit done here. We can go back to our main screen in the App Store, and I can select the Education tab up at the top. You can see it it looks blacker and looks like it's been depressed. And this is where, if I want to just scavenge around the App Store and see what all's there, this is the place to do it. Okay? And Apple tries to help you out here. You can see where, if I hit on the left side here, apps for every grade. Watch that in your top left corner. Then I go through here and I can select a grade level. Let's go apps for middle school. I can now select a subject area: math, literacy, science, social studies. You see those there. If I select literacy, then I will start getting the list of individual apps in more individualized categories: vocabulary and comprehension, spelling and grammar, writing. And then I can scroll through. Let's say I want to check out what this BrainPop is. A lot of teachers already use the internet version of BrainPop. Okay, but here's an app for it. When I go and tap on that, I can see its cost, which is free. I can read details about the app and get screenshots of what it looks like. I can read a description. If I hit more, it'll pop out. But I can also check the ratings and reviews. And that, I would caution you to look at those ratings and reviews. If an app is rated very, very low, then that might ought to serve as a flag. There may be problems in its usability. It may not be it may not do everything that the owner said in the description that it would. It may have a lot of glitches. So check those ratings and reviews. Definitely the App Store ratings. Here you can see that out of 3,886 ratings, very few are below a 5-star level. You've got 4 and 5 stars, so you can bet that this app is probably pretty useful and pretty well functioning. Okay, and that's really all there is to it. How I do want to caution you to be careful though. If you were going to purchase an app, once you're logged in, like look here under writing, for instance, this Toontastic All Access. Look at the cost of that app. It's $19.99. Now I'm not saying it's not a good app. I'm just saying that you don't want to accidentally hit that button or leave your login information in here and a student accidentally hit that button and then $20 be deducted from your card or charged to your credit card. Okay? So be cautious of that. It takes a little bit of maneuvering. Don't be terrified of the App Store, but just know that you don't want to hit purchase or download on an app unless you want it for sure. Alright, so I've shown you how to download the free one. Let's say you want to use the iTunes card to enter in so you can purchase. If you go back to the main page of the App Store, I'll just walk back through. Let's actually go out here and hit App Store. I'm on my main page. If I scroll down to the bottom, right by my login, you will see a Redeem tab. This is where you go if you want to use the iTunes cards you purchased at Walmart. It's very simple. You just pick that up and you would tap just hit right in there in that little box where it says code. And then you would simply enter in the code on the back of the card and hit redeem. At that point, it would update your balance and it would show you how much money you have remaining to spend within the App Store. Okay, so for those of you new to the iPad, that's a simple walkthrough of how to get a free app, which, by the way, there are thousands. You don't have to worry about spending a lot of money, okay? You can, but I would always advise you to check the free stuff out first, okay? But that shows you how to download the app and how it installed onto your iPad. Again, I think each of you should go back, and if that was a little too fast, scroll back and watch how I found TechChef for You and how that works and how to get that downloaded onto your iPad. And then you can watch the other brief video on what TechChef for You actually does and how it can be useful. I hope this is helpful, and good luck as you continue to implement the iPad into your classroom.